getting some live shots of the Prime Minister arriving in Maldives for his two-day tour of Maldives on the invitation of the Maldivian President Mohamed Muizzu. Those are the live shots right now on your screens. The Prime Minister has landed in Maldives, and this again is to boost the economic and the bilateral ties between the two nations. He comes straight from the United Kingdom, where he had a meeting with Keir Starmer, where landmark deals as far as the FTA is concerned were signed between the two nations. And now, of course, we are getting you the update that the Prime Minister has landed in Maldives. We will be getting you all the updates from ground zero, keeping you ahead on what exactly is going to be on the agenda for the meeting between the Prime Minister and Mohamed Muizzu. He has been on a 4-day tour between the two nations. 2 days he was in the United Kingdom, where he met Keir Starmer and signed several trade deals. But now the Prime Minister has landed in Maldives. He is in Malé, and this is on the invitation of the Maldivian President Mohamed Muizzu. The Prime Minister is set to hold meetings with his counterparts to boost the bilateral ties between both the nations. He's landed in Malé, and those are the visuals on your screens right now. First visuals of the Prime Minister landing in Malé on the invitation of the Maldivian President Mohamed Muizzu. Well, we are going to be getting you all the updates as far as the Prime Minister's engagements and itinerary during the day is concerned. But what we can tell you right now is that in his four-nation tour, a 4-day tour of two nations, he has landed in Maldives. He is in Malé right now, and the visit definitely signals a reset in the ties between the two nations. What exactly is going to be on the agenda, as the Prime Minister is going to be in Maldives between 25th to 26th July on the invitation of Mohamed Muizzu. And during the visit, the Prime Minister will attend Maldives' 60th Independence Day celebration as a guest of honor, which is also going to mark 60 years of diplomatic relations between India and Maldives. The Prime Minister had earlier taken to platform X to say that it is going to be a landmark visit to the UK, which eventually concluded in his second leg of the tour in Maldives. And as far as the Maldivian visit is concerned, which is going to underscore the deep-rooted ties between the two countries, India has been a strong neighbor standing through the last 6 decades with Maldives. And during the visit, the Prime Minister will inaugurate several India-assisted development projects. Multiple MOUs are also expected to be signed during the trip, which is going to be seen as a significant resetting of the ties that had gotten strained after Muizzu was seen taking a pro-China stand around October 2023. Now, there is going to be a comprehensive economic and maritime security partnership that is going to be finalized between India and Maldives. It's going to be the framework for the bilateral relation between the two nations in the years ahead. The Prime Minister there meeting several dignitaries as he lands in Maldives. He has landed in Malé on the Maldivian President's invitation. This is going to be momentous, as this is also going to mark the 60th anniversary of Maldives. The 68th Independence Day celebration is where the Prime Minister is going to participate. And of course, the fact that the Prime Minister is going to be present over there in Maldives on this very momentous moment goes on to show that the Prime Minister will be cementing stronger ties between the two nations. And we are expecting several MOUs to be signed between the two nations on the development projects as well. Cultural celebration over there to welcome the Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Maldives. This is also going to be, in a sense, a resetting of ties between the two nations that did go through a strained patch in November 2023 when Maldivian President Muizzu was seen taking a pro-China stand earlier on. But now, of course, there seems to be a thaw in the relationship, and that's the reason why the Prime Minister has landed in Maldives. Prime Minister over there being received by the Maldivian President Mohamed Muizzu himself, and the cultural dance and celebration to welcome the Prime Minister with the chants of Vande Mataram only goes on to show that how closely does Maldives hold India. And the Prime Minister is there to honor this bilateral ties between the two nations. It's going to be a 2-day visit for the Prime Minister in Maldives, which is going to mark his first state visit under President Mohamed Muizzu, with economic partnership and development projects being on the agenda, with the aim to strengthen ties amid shifting geopolitical dynamics. Of course, this is going to be seen as a close partnership between the two nations, where the Prime Minister is present over there celebrating along with several of those children who have come to present a cultural skit before the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He has been received by Mohamed Muizzu, who is the Maldivian president. He's there to receive the Prime Minister himself in Malé, which goes on to show the kind of respect he has for the Indian Prime Minister. And of course, over the next 2 days, there's going to be several MOUs, there's going to be several developmental projects that's going to be signed between the two nations to strengthen the bilateral ties. Also, the fact that the Prime Minister is present on Maldives' 60th Independence Day goes on to show that India also holds Maldives in high esteem, and close neighbors over there who are going to be seeing each other through the years to come, with several MOUs and development projects that's going to be signed between the two nations. And it's going to be the economic partnership between India and Maldives that will gain momentum, as the Prime Minister will be there finalizing several pacts between the two nations. My colleague Ishita is joining me right now to get us more details. Ishita, take us through what exactly is going to be on the agenda for the Prime Minister when he is there for this two-day tour in Maldives.
Right, Samya, it's a very crucial visit for New Delhi, because we know that Maldives is a very close partner when it comes to specifically India's first neighborhood policy, and it's part of India's Mahasagar vision as well. So therefore, it's a crucial visit, and it's going to reset ties between the two countries, which we know, had been sour. They had, they'd gone to severe constraint in the past few months as well, and now we are seeing a lot of efforts on the part of Maldives to reset the ties, and therefore it's a crucial visit which comes on the invitation of Maldivian President. And Prime Minister Modi is going to lead talks he's going to hold bilateral talks with the President. They're going to discuss several concerns when it comes to the Indian Ocean. They're going to discuss trade. We know that India has been a really close partner for Maldives, whether it's about supporting the country in terms of rolling out loans, or whether it comes to helping the country in terms of economic sector, because we know Maldives depends a lot on tourism sector, its economy, and India has been a key partner in that. Now, when we talk about his agenda for this meeting, so there are a lot of ceremonies held packed for the Prime Minister. He's going to meet the President. He's going to hold delegation level talks, and several MOUs are also on the table for this. Along with that, we're going to see that Prime Minister is also going to inaugurate several developmental projects in the country, and we'll also see press statements being released after the inauguration. And a crucial ceremony, which will be the 60th Independence Day celebration. Prime Minister Modi is also going to attend that, and in fact, he is the guest of honor for that ceremony. So, it's a packed day for Prime Minister, packed 2-day visit to Maldives, and a crucial one.
Absolutely, Ishita. Thank you for getting us all those details. And on your screens right now is that Prime Minister meeting the Maldivian President Mohamed Muizzu. The Prime Minister has concluded his two-day UK visit after meeting with King Charles. And now, of course, he is in Maldives, in Malé. A short while ago, he landed over there. But it's important to mention that the Prime Minister is set to inaugurate, to be part of several MOUs that are set to be signed, several deals that are set to be signed. Also to mention over here is that his two-day tour in Maldives is going to be where the Prime Minister will inaugurate developmental projects funded by India. The Indian government has extended crucial financial support by rolling out the $50 million Treasury bill for another year. Right now, we also have Professor Madhav Nalapat, who's a strategic expert. Mr. Nalapat, good morning. Thank you for taking your time and joining us over here. We are looking at these visuals on your screens right now where the Prime Minister is received in Malé with a lot of pomp and show and celebration, with the Maldivian President Mohamed Muizzu himself being present to receive the Prime Minister. What does it go on to show? That all that happened between India and Maldives in 2023 is now behind the two nations, and India and Maldives is now looking towards a promising future and partnership ahead.
Look, India and Maldives had long had a wonderful partnership, and President Muizzu for some time believed that he could do without India, that China was all that was needed, but soon he realized that the Chinese embrace was poison. You see what's happening in Pakistan. The country is collapsing. So President Muizzu is a very smart man, and he has made a 180-degree turn, and now he is very friendly towards India and very respectful of India. And if I may say so, we have always been very friendly and respectful of Maldives, because Maldives is a very essential part of the security of the Indo-Pacific. And Maldivian people are wonderful people. They're very friendly people. So I'm very happy that this turnaround has taken place as a result of quiet diplomacy by both sides, and of course led by the Prime Minister and responded to by President Muizzu. The fact that the Prime Minister has been invited to be the guest of honor at the 60th Independence Day celebrations of Maldives is a gesture as to how far the relationship has come since Muizzu came to power. And I think that's very good news for India. That's very good news for Maldives. The fact is that Maldives depends on India for its prosperity. No other country can substitute for India. And Maldives also, India and Maldives need each other from the point of view of security also. And in terms of people-to-people relations, the Maldivian people are overall a very friendly people, and they find equally friendly people on the Indian side. So I think we can all welcome this fact that the Prime Minister is there. It's a very important visit. Don't ever underestimate it in terms of strategic value. Very, very important. And I think the Prime Minister can be very happy that this breakthrough in relations has taken place. And for that, I would like to congratulate President Muizzu also, who has understood the reality of the situation and has now become, if I may say so, friendly to India. I think it's very good news for India and for the Maldives. And the Prime Minister's visit is a very important symbol of that friendship.
Absolutely, Mr. Nalapat. But amid the changing geopolitical dynamics, when India and Maldives is coming together once again to cement their ties as far as the economic partnership is concerned, how would this help India as well?
Look, the fact of the matter is that Maldives is an important trading partner. It's not in terms of value. This helps India from the strategic and defense point of view. You're seeing, for example, now how China and Pakistan are coming closer together. and the Chinese are basically embracing extremism in order to promote their interest, which is basically to become the dominant power in the Indo-Pacific. That is not to the benefit of any other country in the Indo-Pacific, and India certainly will not abide by that. And as far as the Maldives is concerned, it's very bad news for the Maldives if that happens. They have seen for themselves what happens when the Chinese come, and the Maldivian people themselves are not very happy about it at all, as distinct from their relationship with the Indian community. So I would like to say that from a strategic point of view, from the defense of the Indo-Pacific point of view, from the defense of India and the defense of Maldives point of view, is a very important relationship. We should not count everything in terms of money, strategy, strategic interest, strategic stability. All that is worth a lot. And frankly, I think all that is now fortunately being gained by both sides. And the visit by Prime Minister Modi symbolizes that.
But Mr. Nalapar, do you also feel it's important that even Maldives should come clean and clarify on their stand vis-a-vis Pakistan and China, especially in the aftermath of Pahalgam? India is standing with Maldives, but it is also going to be a two-way street. Well, I'm also joined by Mr. Anil Trigunath over here with me. Mr. Trigunath, good morning. Thank you for taking the time and joining us over here at News 9. We are looking at these visuals on our screens right now. The Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the President of Maldives, Mohamed Muizzu, standing together. He was there to receive Prime Minister Modi in Malé, which is going to be underscoring the strong bilateral ties between the two nations. The Prime Minister is there on the 60th year of their independence to cement the ties between the two nations. How does it position India and Maldives in the changing geopolitical scenario?
Well, as you know that India has been following this policy of neighborhood first, and Maldives is an important maritime neighbor. India has always supported and stood with it. But with the growing geopolitical changes that are taking place or the divisions that are occurring, we are looking at a possibility where you have to compete with China for the geopolitical influence in the region, and that will continue to be a reality, and we need to face it. At the same time, you know, the same Muizzu government, which came on the platform of India Out campaign, has once again come and has realized what is good for them, and their former vice president today itself said that India has always stood with us and we support India fully. And that's what Mr. Muizzu also said. So they realize who is good for them, what is good for them, and how they should continue. And the very fact that Prime Minister Modi is the chief guest on this occasion, on the 60th anniversary, which is a remarkable feat, I think that this is a very important development, and that clearly shows and attests to the Maldivians that who stands with them and for their welfare.
Trigunath, do you feel it's also important for Maldives to clarify and come clean on their stand vis-a-vis Pakistan and China, because India is here, Prime Minister is there in Malé, standing and extending an arm of friendship towards Mohamed Muizzu. Of course, even he's walked half a mile towards India.
Well, I think that let us not be unreal. You know, world is real, and their countries have different kind of relationships with all the countries, and they have relationship due to the Islamic context with Pakistan. They have relationship with China. China has been investing. It has been tossing turving between India and China for that extent. But I think that they do understand. And as you know, that most of the countries had condemned the terror attacks, but none of the countries had clearly taken the name of Pakistan. So that means you have the global comprehensive strategic partnership with the United States that did not mention it. You had others. So why single out Maldives? India has to look at its own sphere of influence and continue to work on it. As far as terrorism is concerned, for India, India has already declared its new normal policy and will continue to work on it, and the world has recognized it. And there have been nobody who has opposed it directly, including Maldives.
Absolutely, Mr. Trigunath. But, we look at Indian government also, who has gone ahead and extended the crucial financial support by rolling over the 50 million US dollar treasury bill for another year, which also shows that India is inclined to having business and economic partnership with Maldives thereafter. But how is India going to benefit through this, Mr. Trigunath?
You see, very simply put, I mean, you have these neighbors, and as I always say that the neighbors are a gift of geography but pains of history. So you will always have this kind of problem. They would like, we talk about a strategic autonomy and expect everybody else to support us. They also like the same thing. So it is something for us to see. Is it in our interest to have a good Maldives, which is favorable to us? We will not allow any nefarious activities against India. And for that, you got to invest in their development, because a stronger neighborhood is for your own good. So that is something we need to understand. And we need to work. Wherever they are faltering, they must understand there will be costs.
Absolutely, Mr. Trigunath. Of course, as far as 60th Independence Day celebration is concerned, the Prime Minister is present over there as the chief guest. This is a huge mark of honor for India. Can we then say that what happened in November 2023, where Maldives was seen taking a position that was pro-China, that can be left behind?
I don't think so. They see all our neighbors, let us be very clear. They will continue to play one China and India cards at their, whenever it is necessary and good for their own country's interest, or at least the ruling party's interest. But Maldives case has completely a turnaround. As you know, I mean, from where as November 2023 you are mentioning, there was an India out campaign, the totally anti-India stance, but to that till today. Now what India has done, India has not become petty. India has continued to support these countries, the people of these countries. You see, governments come and go, but the people realize what is good for them and who's their neighbor and a benign neighbor who want to help them. It's in our own interest, it is in their interest. So that's how it works. National interests are supreme for every country. So today we must understand that only within a very short period of 2.5 years, the relationship has taken virtually a complete turnaround. And that is courtesy to Prime Minister Modi and his government.
Given the scenario then, Mr. Trigunath, when India maintains that Maldives is going to be a key partner in India's neighborhood first policy and its Mahasagar vision for regional security and growth, like I was asking you, it's important to know which way and how strongly will Maldives stand with India vis-a-vis regional security and growth?
Well, as of today, it looks like that they are very much supportive of India's concerns and India's outreach, and they want it there. They want to be a viable partner in this relationship. But if we are expecting that they could be colonized just because we are providing them some assistance, I think then we are living in a fool's paradise.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Trigunath, for taking our time and joining us over here at News 9. We shall leave it at that for the moment. Those are the visuals on your screens right now, where the Prime Minister is seen standing in unison with the Maldivian President, Mohamed Muizzu. Cultural dance to welcome the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Mohamed Muizzu himself was present at the Malé airport to receive the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. There are multiple MOUs are expected to be signed between India and Maldives for a joint vision for a comprehensive economic and maritime security partnership that was finalized last year and has now become a guiding framework for bilateral relations. My colleague Ishita continues to be with us. But Ishita, take us through what is going to be the Prime Minister's itinerary for the day and for the next 2 days for that matter.
Right, Samya. So Prime Minister Modi is going to be in Maldives now. You just show the visuals of how he's arrived in the capital. And this 2 day, it's a packed visit for Prime Minister. First, he'll be holding bilateral talks with President Mohamed Muizzu, and then he's going to discuss trade with the leader. And then we have him attending the 60th Independence Day celebrations, and then you're going to see the two leaders discuss several MOUs. Now, these MOUs are going to be based on several projects that India has assisted in Maldives. We've seen India has been a very strong supporter when it comes to investment projects in Maldives. So we're going to see, in terms of line of credit that India has extended, or in terms of bio credits. So all of these are going to be taken into account when we talk about the MOUs that are going to be signed between the two leaders. And further, there would be other meetings as well after the Independence Day celebrations that the Prime Minister is going to attend. And then we're also going to see press statements being released by the two leaders.
Absolutely, Ishita. I'm also joined by Ahmed Adib, who is the former tourism minister of Maldives. We'll try and get him in a short while from now. But Ishita, you were telling us about how the Prime Minister is going to be part of several cultural exchange between the two nations. Also, take us through about what is on the anvil today, what are going to be the MOUs that could be signed today itself.
All right. So as you mentioned earlier, so what we're going to see is that the India-Maldives joint vision, that's going to, be the guiding framework for the kind of partnership, that's comprehensive economic and maritime security partnership. It was finalized last year between the two countries, and it remains a key framework for the kind of developmental projects India is going to be engaged in Maldives. And on those lines only, we're going to see developmental MOUs being signed between the two countries. And we also have bilateral meetings. Now, it's going to be held at the level of Prime Minister and President, both. And then you will also see that India extending support in terms of whether it comes to granting loans to the country or supporting other projects. Now, along with that, we're also going to see Prime Minister Modi attending the celebrations and holding talks with several leaders. And the crucial thing here is that this visit will essentially reset the ties between the two countries, because you see this has been done.